share about some flowers that I made as well as some leaves that I made, and I'm gonna go over how I did that in just a minute. So it'll kind of be a tutorial, but I'll just explain what I did to create the flowers and leaves. And I'll first go over this card. This card is for my girlfriend who has been working so hard the past couple years while raising a family and just received her master's degree. So I'm going to send this to her. But just use the colored corrugated card 12 by 12 stack to make my own colored corrugated card. And I had a previous video, I had sent an email to Michael's asking them to make the Recollections corrugated cards in colors. It actually wasn't that easy to cut this out and score, and I guess now that I've done it once it would be easier next time, but it would be so nice if they made them. So anyway, the paper pad I used was it's right here. Sorry, it's the Primrose Stack from Die Cuts with a View, and it's just really pretty soft florals and ledger paper and some music paper. So I used that in the back, and I used my Wink of Stella. I used the clear one on the bird and the white one on the flowers. And I think really the difference for me between the two of them, not that you'll be able to see this, is the clear one has more of a gold shimmer and the white one has more of a silverish, just a tiny bit white shimmer. And I layered some really pretty lace trims and some doilies underneath here, and then the flowers that I just made. And I made these with napkins, so I'll show you how I did that, or tell you how I did that. And the leaves, and then these are a couple of cutouts from the paper pad. And then these right here are little word beads, and I just put some eyelets in there and strung some seam binding through there to attach that, and added a couple more little flowers and some pearl bling. And then on the inside, oh my goodness, a couple things. One, the corrugated card wasn't holding up well. It looked like it was going to eventually tear through, so I added a piece of washi tape on there, and then when I adhered down the paper, it held it down on top of it. And then I kept adhering paper like this I was going to put down here, and yeah, whatever. And on the back, I was doing something else and I got glue stuck on there and it ripped the paper, so I just added another little piece, and as long as we're on the back, I just added my little signature card there. But used another piece from the paper collection to make a little pocket to hold my sentiment card. And then just added a couple little stickers up here and a little bit more of the white Wink of Stella. So I think that's it for the card. So let me tell you really quick how I did the flowers and then the leaves. So the flowers, I started off using these IKEA napkins, which I absolutely love the print on. And what I did, I wanted to make something that was stiff yet pliable to make flowers out of. So this was the process I used. I laid down a white paper towel and covered it with decoupage, and then I layered the napkin on top of that. And so I used the other half of this napkin, and once I did that, the napkin kind of split in two, so I took the top layer of the napkin off. It was very easy to do once it was on the Mod Podge. And then I put another layer of Mod Podge. Oh my goodness, I can't get this apart. Here we go. So I put paper towel, Mod Podge. I stuck the whole thing down, and then it was very easy to take the top piece off. Then I put more Mod Podge, and then the floral piece. I did not put any Mod Podge on top. And then I just kept smushing it down to try and get out any air bubbles. And I also put my Tim Holtz mat on top of everything and then used my brayer and then just let it dry. And so this is what I ended up with. And then I used, this die worked beautifully. I used the Tim Holtz Alterations die. It's the Tattered Flower Garland. And so I just kept cutting out these flowers here, and they cut out, I wasn't sure how this was going to cut, but it cut beautifully in one pass, and it even cut out all of the little center holes. And then I used 3 different methods to do these flowers. The first ones I did, I just inked the edges a little bit and then put crack. Okay, while I was filming, I was really out of frame there for a second, so I'm going to just read you this part right here and hopefully get you guys a good shot of this. There we go. These flowers were covered with the crackle accents, the glossy accents, crackle accents, and I really like the way, I'm trying to see if you guys can see the crackle at all on there. I really like the way that these came out, and once they dried, they curled up like this all on their own. So I really like that, and I'm out of crackle accents, or I would have done more like this, but then I went on to trying other mediums, which was good too. So these here, I layered the glossy Mod Podge and sprinkled a little bit of the Tim Holtz Distress Glitter on there. And I don't think I inked these quite as much. So those came out really pretty as well. And these are resin flowers that I had made and some clay leaves that I had made. I have previous videos on those. And then these right here, I inked the edges and then used the clear rock candy from Ranger, the crackle medium, and I do like the way those came out as well, but I think I like the crackle accents. The crackle accents crackled a little bit more. I feel like my camera's not focusing. There we go. One other thing I wanted to add in, you guys, when I cut out the flowers, the largest flower, which is this one here in the back, I trimmed down. So like, I felt it was like sticking out too far, so I trimmed it down on this one, and on this one over here I trimmed it at a little one, and then this one I did not trim it, so you can see how it sticks out a little farther. So I just used, on the ones I trimmed, I just used my deckled scissors that give it that little ruffly edge. And this flower also, I rolled what was this? This was the Mod Podge with the Super Gloss Mod Podge with the glitter. This was dried completely flat. So this one I did roll the edges under a little bit with a paintbrush, whereas the crackle accents and the rock candy both curled up on their own. So okay, so that's how I did the flowers, and just made different little embellishment centers or added some pearls. And then these down here as well were made with the Ranger crackle medium. Okay, and then for these leaves right here, I took, this was just a paper bag, a really thin paper bag that had something I had purchased come in. And this was the fabric I showed in a previous video. It was just this sheer fabric with polka dots that you could pick up at any fabric store. And so what I did was I stamped the bag with a script stamp, and I laid down a layer of the glossy Mod Podge again, and then I layered the fabric over it, and my hands got kind of messy, but I kept smushing the fabric down into the glossy Mod Podge, And I just put in like a medium layer, not real thin or thick. And the Mod Podge would come up through the fabric. So there's just a couple little places that didn't, they adhered, everything adhered pretty well, but there's a couple little air pockets. So I kept smushing that down, and that too I put a piece of paper over it and used my brayer and just kept rolling it, and you know, as it was drying, I hit it a little bit with my heat gun. That's why this is all curled up here. And then once it dried, I just cut out leaves and edged them with some ink, and I really like the way that they came out. And the fabric also had a little bit of shimmer to it. So between the fabric being a little shimmery and using the glossy Mod Podge, I think they came out really nice. So, oh, I also wanted to show you a little, I made a little bow with the, oh, here it is. I used the die-namics, this die, which gives you a big bow and a little bow. And so just to do something else different to show you, let me see if I have a piece of paper or something I can put this on real quick. I made this little bow out of, and so you can see the shimmer there a little bit. Out of the same thing I made the leaves out of. So, you know, you could use your die cuts to really cut the napkins or the paper bag leaves, either one. You know, you could use any die cuts. So I hope you guys find that helpful and enjoyed the share. If you haven't happened to see it, I am doing a small Tilda giveaway right now, and there should be a video out there for that, and that's good through next week, or through the middle of next week. So you guys have a super great day, and I'll be talking to you soon. Bye-bye.